Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. In this video, we are going to cover Unit 2, Introduction to the Production Process, Chapter 1, Film. So, filmmaking is basically the first subtopic of film is a film from an idea to the release of print. Film is basically a process which is a long-term process, and it is very much special as well and has its own special character. It also involves there are few requirements of the film, and the most important is investment of time and money as well. So it says that it involves large sum of money, big team of people with different skills working as various levels of skills. So it also requires investment of money, it requires a big team of different skills, of various skills, and also management of resources is needed. So this is what the process of filmmaking requires, and the whole process is a creative process. It is almost like or almost similar to industrial operation. That's why we do say it is an industry. So the whole process of filmmaking is a continuous process, and there are few stages involved. First stage, the process. This process involves three stages, the three principal stages. First stage is pre-shooting stage, second is shooting stage, and the third one is post-shooting stage. Now we are only going to focus on pre-shooting stage. Pre-shooting stage consists of writing. Writing means basically writing a script, budgeting of a project. Budgeting the project is like basically the expenses which are required. E is missing here. It is basically acquiring finance. E is missing here. Casting actors, for sure there should be entertainers, there should be performers in the film who are going to perform or act. Finalizing the technical and production team, and then planning. This word is planning. A time schedule of shooting and the post production stage. So basically, writing a script is needed, budgeting is needed, acquiring finance, which is the job of producer. Casting actors are also one of the requirement of pre-shooting stage. Finalizing the technical and production team, and then planning a time schedule of the shooting and preparing what is going to happen in the post-shooting stage as well. Now we are just focusing on writing a script. So this subtopic is basically included under writing a script. Okay, every film begins with an idea. Here basically the idea can come from different sources, for sure. It can be the writer's own inspiration, or it can be inspired from story, novel, or a play that may appeal to him means the writer, or director, or to the producer. So basically, the producer may buy. Now the next duty after rights, after ideas, the next duty is rights. Buying the rights of adaptation from the original writer, and then the producer will employ a script writer, a film writer, who is going to write a script. The writer can write the script independently, or the writer can also write the script with the collaboration of original writer and director. So there's an example given of Mario Puzo. So it says that The Godfather was a novel written by Mario Puzo. When Paramount Pictures made series of film based on the novel, Mario Puzo, who wrote the script in collaboration with Francis Ford Coppola, who directed the film. So this was the example, and basically writing a script includes, first thing is idea. The idea can come from anywhere. It can be someone's own inspiration, or can come through any different sources. And the next thing is the producer is going to buy the rights from the original writer or director. Not director, usually writer. And then the producer is going to employ a writer who will write the script independently or with the collaboration or with the original writer or director. Now there was an example given. Godfather was an example. You can read it once. Now we're going to focus on budgeting the project. So every film has to be planned in terms of the budget. So there are number of expenses involved in the whole process. In this entire process of filmmaking, there are number of expenses involved. So these expenses are basically divided into main categories of same. Would be, first is above line expenses, second is below line expenses, the is missed here, that's why space is there. Above the line expenses, below the line expenses, and contingent expenses. Now what is above the line in costs or expenses? Above the line expenses include main people, main thing, main, which involves main, has main role. It can be story, it can be script, it can be producer, it can be director, it can be lead performers as well. So it says that in a production budget, the amount to be spent on the principal creative elements such as story, script, producer, director, and the lead performers. Now, what is below the line expenses? Below the line expenses basically is not like it the rest people. What is not added in above the line expenses? The things which are not added in above the line expenses are added in below the line expenses. So it can be accommodation, it can be transportation, it can be insurance, it can be crew members, it can be other lead performers, it can be laboratory, legal or accounting fees, anything related to that. And the post production expenses are also included in below the line costs. Now what is contingency? Contingency is basically contingent expenses, which basically include an extra allowance which is added, extra money which was an unexpected, basically unexpected expenses are basically contingency. Before moving to this subtopic, we should know another term, which is adaptation. Adaptation is basically remakes. Adaptation is basically transformation of a work or story in a whole or in a part of to a fiction film. Basically one source of art is converted into another version of or another genre of adaptation. Basically I am inspired from one of the play or from one of the novel, and I want to convert it into my version after buying the rights. So that is what adaptation means. So yeah, now we're going to know the new subtopic, which is no film can begin with empty pocket. For sure, without investment of money, no film can begin. The very first thing is finance, acquiring finance, which is basically the producer's job. So acquiring finance of a project is the producer's job. So, filmmaking being such appropriate operation spread over a large period. So basically, we have to focus in this whole paragraph. We have to just focus on that acquiring finance is a producer's job, and filmmaking is a complicated process. For sure, filmmaking is a complicated operation, complicated process, and it requires skill, technical, and vast technical and other momentary resources. So these are the requirements of a film. Now, the legacy of Hollywood has changed. Evolution took place, and the process of, the process has evolved like throughout, like fully it has evolved and it has changed a lot. Through Hollywood, we got to know what studios are. So, what basically the studios, it's saying that this legacy of Hollywood says studio system which evolved quickly in 1920s. So from Hollywood we got an idea of studio. So what is studio? Studio is basically a well designed organization through which where we can, wherein all the filmmaking operations are conducted under one roof. So the editing part, not even editing, shooting, everything is conducted in studio, which is well designed, which is well organized. So this operation take place where within the boundaries of studio, and in India the system is being adapted. There are many studio names are given. Famous studios are Prabhat Studio in Pune, New Theaters in Kolkata, Mumbai Talkins in Mumbai, and there are many more. Now we are going to focus on shooting stage. Shooting stage basically consists of getting shooting done on location and studios as per schedule. So there are various factors which which are involved in the shooting stage, and that is why, because there are various factors involved, there are so many factors involved, that is why it sometimes the problems they do go beyond the control of producers. So then it goes beyond the control of director as well. So then it is called for improvisation. Then the script improvement is there or schedule improvement is there, so improvisation is needed. And then the producer prefers The producer, basically all the producers, they do prefer to finish the shooting on one schedule, but it is not really possible due to many reasons. One of the reason is not, like, they are actors, they're not available continuously, they don't have dates, or sometimes the script may demand the parts of a film of to be shot in different season. So maybe because of season, maybe if I want a mango tree in my movie, so I will only shoot it in summer season, because it's not, the mango tree will not be there in, in winter season. So sometimes script do demands the film to be shot in different season. So that can also be there, that can again be a restriction of location, or unavailability of location can also be the major problems faced. Now, for shooting, planning requirement is very much necessary. It should be artistic and logical as well. So what happens is, in the first day, the crew members are expected to be familiar with the shooting schedule. This will be the first point. These are the steps of shooting, right? The first day, the members of the crew should be familiar with the shooting schedule. This is what it is expected from them. Now, all the necessary equipment for the day's work should be available. So all the equipment should be available for that. Now, the crew members are provided with a call sheet. The call sheet are provided to the crew members, and basically they indicate his or her work. So the sets are built accordingly, according to the demand of the script, according to the demand of the film. So that the sets are built nicely, in a well organized manner and dressed. The lights are positioned accordingly, and the position of the lights are agreed by the director and the director of photography. Then cameras and microphones are also placed. The light adjustments are rehearsed with the help of stand-ins, which walk through the actions, and then marks are placed on the floor to ensure the movement of the actors, the performers, the entertainers, basically. Then till then the actors makeup, dress up, hair is done, and they are called to set. If everything is done, their makeup, costume, everything, every technical aspect is done as well, then they are called to set. And rehearsal is being done before it is being, before the scene is filmed. Now the director is when the director becomes ready for the shoot, then the assistant calls for silence, and then door is being the entrance, basically switch red light is switched on, and it is like the door is being closed, and the director instructs the camera operators, the cameraman, which is basically, they operates the camera, and the sound recordist to begin. The clapper board is snapped shut, and the film or the rehearsal is being shot. So this was to see. There's an example given as well. The Charlie Chaplin, he took 342 takes just for a scene where, like the scene was in city lights. This happened in 1931, where the little tramp buys a flower from the blind girl. So this is basically an example of shooting stage. Now, what is shooting ratio? Shooting ratios are basically ratio of ratio of the finally finished length of the film to the length of the film that is actually shot. So it should be from 1 to 10 to 1 is to 10 to 1 is to 20. Now, before going to the next topic, we should have to learn this, that should know this, that there are various cameras placed. If we talk about cameras, there are not only one cameras, there are various cameras placed. So why is it so? Even especially when action scenes are shot, is being shooted, then various cameras are placed. First, because they want to give a realistic look. Second, repetition of action scenes are really not possible. Third, to avoid discontinuity, because it is difficult to shoot again. And also the very good, like the very important thing is, they get range of options through, different angles. Now, when the director is, satisfied with the take, like, it's really not possible in first take. So when the director is satisfied with the take, and then it asks it to be printed, and then the same scene may still need to filmed again from different camera angles, though. Alternatively, a scene may be shot with more than one camera at once. So why we need one camera? Like why we don't need one camera? Why we need more than one cameras? We got to know. So this allows range of options, and it comes to editing. When it comes to editing, and it is especially valuable technique where a scene can only be filmed once due to danger or expense. So a objective question can come from this line is that Akira Kurosawa used multiple cameras while shooting action scenes in his film. So this now we are going to focus on the post shooting stage, which consists three stages. First is lab processing, second is editing, and the third one is sound work. So firstly, the lab receives exposed film, and then the exposed film is developed into a picture negative, and then that negative is printed in picture positive, which is known as rushes. And that rushes, that means picture positives, are assembled in sequence, and that assembly, like that assembled rushes are being rough cut is made. That rough cut is becomes the final cut. From the rough cut, final cut is made, and the final cut, the soundtracks are being added for sure, because soundtracks are added after doing everything, because they avoid, adding the background noise or kind of thing. Then the sound is first synchronized and mixed, recorded, re-recorded, and then a negative is being unedited negative is add like unedited negative is edited. The final release print is being completed, and this is what basically. So this final release is being printed, and this is what a mixed version. So this is all about we completed shooting stage, we completed the post shooting stage as well. But after this, we should also know what editing is. Editing is basically giving a perfection. Like, it's not possible that a film will be perfect, but at least trying to make it perfect. So the most important element of post production process is editing process, which is shot and are selected, and then they are assembled in order. So attention is turned into soundtrack. So this is basically, it's all about editing. It's the main part I've said. Objective can come from this paragraph as well, is that the studio positions of Guru Dutt's films, all the films of Siam Benegal, and recently the film Lagan 2001 and Swadesh 2004 was shot with sync sound. In India, sync sound is not the norm of variety of reasons. So this was first at that time. So this is all about this chapter. We have completed all the three stages of film, and we got to know what all the three stages basically include. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned, and please do like my videos. Thank you.